I just did is I soaked the fish. The type of fish I'm using is a crocodile fish. And first of all, I had to remove the scale because you need to remove the scale.
Having worked with a few companies and tasting the same bitter pill, Taiwo Akinola decided it was time to pursue a certain passion of his.
I worked with some marketing agencies. After working so much, at times you're taken out of Lagos. When you come back, the money you are being paid at the end of the day cannot be measured up to the labor that you put in, and even before you're being paid, maybe like 3 months after you have done the job. So I decided to, opt out and think of what to do for myself. I looked lunch or dinner or breakfast. First to get into the kitchen, we do the cooking. That was what we were doing when we were growing up then.
Upon discovering the business potential in cooking, he opted for a less competitive catering service.
And since then, I have not looked back. I've been doing a lot of researches myself.
Unfortunately, however, his first catering job could have marked the beginning of the end of the budding business.
The first job I ever did was from a family friend. The job was, I don't know, it was just terrible. If I had done such a job then as I now, that person would have gotten me arrested. She said I should cater for 50 guests. First of all, I got there late. The second one was the spring roll and the samosa because of sun. Some of them got melted. I could only salvage little out of it. And she just walked up to me and said, "Do you know what? We're going to do more very soon. Don't worry. I just know you're starting." Those words, I was being
stride, and armed with personal childhood experiences, he launched full scale into the world of catering services.
Growing up in a polygamous home, I did stay After your education, nothing else. There is no asset for any son or daughter of his to inherit. Then what he gives us, he expects you to save part of it, not to use everything to eat. The experience I had growing up was to be independent and
Since 2009, Taiwo has been the creative head at Chubby Chubs, a feat he achieved through passion and constant research.
I read, surf through the net. The new BBM platform now, there are channels on them, and my channels are they are really on foods, anything food, and even in my house on DSTV, I watch Food Network because of the passion, the love that I have for it. And when I teach people, I look at their desire. There are some that have come over the years and they've not made use of what they've learned. It's because they've not really put value. Some they just look at what you're doing as mere thing, that is not this, finger food they are doing, and they don't know the kind of energy you put into it. So they just look at what you're doing as one cheap thing. There are some people that look at you and they will start wondering, are you a guy in a female, business? And some will say, the guy is not serious. There is this school of thought I say,
To retain a fair share of the market.
I look at what I'm doing as an artist looks at the canvas to paint, because food itself is where I've never dreamt of going. Following year, doing a job north of 70 now, doing a job of 100, 150, having a profit of 50, 60, 70, and the following year increasing like that. And it has exposed me to know different cuisines from different.
He has admirable plans to revolutionize culinary art in Nigeria.
I want to make a name for myself. To be focused, which is the number one thing. Then you have to love it, because when you're focused and you have love, it keeps you going. Then consistency, you have to be consistent in what you're doing, because if you see that this fellow is doing what you're not doing and you think, okay, yeah, his own is right, now how are you sure that his own is right? So you need to be consistent. What you're doing, just keep on doing it. One day, you'll see the light at the end of the tunnel.
A true entrepreneur is one who can impact knowledge in others so as to replicate the business for job opportunities. Over the past 5 years, Taiwo Akinola has been involved with training aspiring youth.
He's a very nice person. He's funny. He's someone you want to look up to. Like, you want to aspire to be him because he's self-employed and he's easygoing. I am a student of Ghana in Legon. I'm studying entrepreneurship, but I still feel like if I could have the certificate, I can do that and still be able to help myself, outside my scope of what I'm learning. Education is very important because you need it, but you also have to be able to do things on your own. Like, okay, I can do this and I can do this. This person won't bluff me. I'm not just learning only the samosa and that bakery things. I'm learning other things like ankara making and other things I feel that would enable my future. I see myself using these things I've learned to be able to provide for myself financially and really big, in a very big way, not just in a small way, be able to help out people and also teach people so that they can be able to learn from this and be empowered.
I'm learning to cook because it's not everything let's say your parents could provide for you. Sometimes you need to get some things yourself, especially when in a case like your mom travels and there are some things you can't tell your dad you want to buy. So you have to get your own money and do your own stuff. I advise them not to be lazy and stay at home thinking mom and dad can provide everything. It's not everything that they can do. Sometimes they need little of your assistance if you could help them. And it also make you more of an experienced person when you actually become older. It inspires me in so many ways that it's not necessary that you have to get old and get like 7 years of PhD and stuff like that before you can become a person in life. I'm actually acquiring a lot from him, a lot. Like a role model.
In this business of ours, the research is an everyday thing, because the moment you stop doing research, then you lack or you run short of ideas. So you need to go either online or to buy books to read.
And when he is not training, he is reveling in the benefits of entrepreneurship.
It has been able me to
Support system that ensures efficiency at what he does.
Actually, I've been looking for a job for like 2 years, and I said to myself one day that, okay, it's high time for me to start doing something for myself. A friend of mine called me up and said I should go for this poverty elevation program. Lagos State was doing it in Ogba, empower women to do different kind of things, baking, sewing, ajire and stuff like that. So I went to it and to learn baking, but I wasn't satisfied within me. I can still do more. But one day I went to Facebook and I saw Chubby. I said, Chubby, Taiwo is my friend. Why can't I just hook up with him and let me learn more about this small chops? I wasn't satisfied with the one I learned in Lagos State. It was just for 3 weeks and it wasn't that much. So I sent him a message on Facebook, and he replied me almost immediately, and the next day I was in his house, and that was it. As I got myself into learning small chops. Working with him is very easy. It's very, very easy. He's a calm person. He's very understanding, and a very loving person too. One day we hope to take international and leave the shores, let him order for it abroad someday. As Mo would say, if you can think it, you can do it. There's nothing that is impossible for someone. If you have anything in mind, don't let anybody discourage you. You can say, Lagbaja is doing it, this person is doing it. It doesn't really matter. You can form your own thing, put a little bit of swagger in your own, and people are like, oh really? This is a small chop with another dimension. So they should go for it.
Right from childhood, he has been proven to be someone that we want to be independent. You know, that he will be an employer of labor. So he has been so hardworking since childhood. What I, had in plan for him was, just to face, academically that he should, pursue his course like computer, and which he actually tried. But suddenly, he just changed his mind and then found himself in this catering business. And actually, as a young boy, he knows how to cook and he likes to eat. So he knows how to settle himself. And gradually, before I knew it, becomes what he is today. I'm really proud of him, and I've been so supportive.
I believe.
On a final note, what would be your advice to aspiring entrepreneurs?
An average life is a poor man's mentality. Always see yourself as someone who will, let me use this word, blow up anytime soon. Because I believe the likes of Dangote that we have today, it was just a day.